Testing, 1, 2, motherfucking 3. This your boy Big Cal coming at you again with another episode of TMP. Man, special edition, part 2 of Chronicles of a Frustrated Baby Father coming at you. So, just for the people, the new viewers and people that's listening, it's got to break it down of this whole scenario that I'm talking about. Um, it's my own personal situation going on in my life with my baby mother of a child that I just found out was mine in December, for sure. For sure, found out was my child, DNA proof, evidence, did the swab, all that. As I said, things were going cordial between me and the mother. Um, man, yeah, man, it was really a lot. It's really a lot, man. Things were going, as I said, things were going cordial between me and the mother. Man, and then they just derailed. But I'm gonna go back into this part two, man. Where I left off, I was talking about how the child was still with my cousin. So, give you a little run back of like I said, the previous episode. This girl who's happened to be my baby mother had a child with her. We fooled around in 2013. She told me before we fooled around that she had fooled around with my cousin. Yeah, she was whatever, she was in some type of relationship or some type of situationship with my cousin. Told her I did not give a rat's ass. You know what I'm saying? Proceeded to, have sex. A little bit later, found out she was pregnant. She told me she wasn't for sure who the child's father was. Could have been a Hispanic guy, could have been mine. Told her cool, as soon as I get a DNA test, we can go from there. Months went by. The day leading up to her having the child, she hit me up on my inbox, said I'm about to go have her. Blase blase. I'm like, cool, shoot. You know, I'm cool with that. I'm so I don't get disturbed. But I said, cool, as I said, we weren't together, was not even wanting to be with a girl, so it wasn't no situation where I was gonna go and, be at the birth of the child, because that was not the case. She had a child. Next thing you know, I see online my cousin is saying he had welcomed the child into this world. So, and there was no longer any communication with me and the girl. So, obviously, as I said, confused, shocked. I'm like, damn, like I didn't have any kids prior. My cousin didn't have any kids prior. So, I'm not the youngest. I'm about 25 at this point in 2014. So, I didn't have any kids at this point, so you know what, I didn't really know what it was to be so hearted to believe that this is my child. As I said, we had sex one time. She said she was on the birth control, and honestly, I would be apt to believe her due to I could feel it inside her. She said she had the implant. I forgot what they call that, but whatever it's called. Um, yeah, so it was a situation where it was really on a far odds for her even get pregnant. So I wasn't not thinking about having no child with this girl in no way, form, or fashion. The girl, she already had, like I said, 2 kids already with 2 different baby fathers. uh she told me she doesn't even have no type of relationship with the baby fathers. Like me and her, I was walking the eggshells dealing with her. As I said, I try to appease her because she's been through a lot of trauma. She's a traumatized black woman, a hurt black woman. Unfortunately, we have a lot of those in our communities that are unloved. She doesn't have a relationship with her father, doesn't have a relationship with her mother. Um, so yeah, just she was going through a lot of stuff. She said she was sex trafficked. She was in jail for 14 months. All of these are things that she confessed to me about. So this isn't slander. These are just facts. Straight up and down facts. So yeah, I was not gung ho to be a father to this type of woman. As anybody, wouldn't be surprised to be that. Like she was, ghetto to say the least, very ghetto, very, yeah, just a degenerate. The way she carried herself was, is toxic. It wasn't something I would like to have around me and in my presence at all. You know, uh, Laid down with her, made a mistake, and then that's how God works. God works in mysterious ways. Like a mistake can be lifelong, that's just how it works. So I want, like, as I say, to be an example to men. I love me, so I'm definitely love my child. Definitely want to have, if that's my child, you know, just want to have some type of relationship with her, so that's just the facts, But anyway, back to the course. My cousin had the child. I can't give a good timeline of when he took the child or when he took sole custody of the child. If I wanted to, I'd go back and look it up. It's no problem doing that. But it was early on in the little girl's life where where he took the child. As I said, I was not gung ho to be a father. I'd be the first one to admit I wasn't kicking down doors, knocking down doors, going to talk to my cousin and I think that's my child. That was not the case at 25 years old. I can take full accountability for that. I was not that guy. I was not that guy. I was under the understanding that she thought she believed it was my child. We'd go get a DNA test together at me and the potential mother, and that would be the end. I didn't foresee third parties being involved, in which I would have to reach out to people which I'm not even used to reaching out to, talk to people which I'm not even have any relationship with to talk to in that way. So that was the biggest thing with me. Like, just like, like what I didn't know what to do. I was stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and I chose to bow out and stay out the way of it. Honestly, as I said, time went on. Me and the girl would talk. She would still be under the suspicion to me. Like I just hit her up, like, you know, uh, just asking questions. She told me that my cousin was keeping the child from her too. So I don't know, the truth of that or what, I don't know the specifics of that. Let me say that. I do know it has some validity to it. But during this time frame, like as I said, I don't really perceive, as she said, she didn't have custody of her other kids. I don't really see that she wanted to be a mother really that adamantly either. Honestly, at that point, she was too busy running the streets, being a little hoe. As she said, she was sex trafficked. She was going all over the place, stripping, whatever, thotting off. She wasn't really wanting to be the father to this little girl either. So the little girl was in a situation, but she would occasionally, it would be these sporadic outbursts. Like 3 years into the girl's life, it was like 20, or might have been four. Might have been 2017, 2018. It was a time where she came out and she had basically went online and was telling him, like, that's not your child online. Give your cousin back his child. She was doing outbursts like that. So I don't really know what, the specifics of what, the details, whether or not was going on, him keeping the child from her, seeing her, obviously she was going through shit. As I said, she was in prison for fraud in Alabama for about 14 months. Um, yeah, man. They'll get that water in you. Get that water, H2O. But yeah, she was incarcerated for 14 months. As she said, she was sex trafficked. I think one time she was living in Miami or Florida at one point. Alabama, she got arrested in Alabama. Currently she lives in Detroit. So and she's from North Carolina. So currently this is a person who has just been all over the place, throughout her, this short, little bit of time of life being a mother. Like she's, right now she has custody of the daughter. I'm gonna break down how that went into effect. But yeah, it was years, time going by where she was not the primary caregiver of her daughter due to being incarcerated or due to just not even interested in being a mother. You know, so and that's just my opinion. She's gonna say, of course, otherwise. She's gonna say that my cousin kept her away from the child. That's what she's gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Of course, because that's just she's a victim. Everything that ever happened to her, she's always a victim. On her platform, she talks about just how she went through hell with her own family. Being forced into molestation. She has said her mother forced her into molestation, and ancestral molestation in her family. It's just some crazy shit that really no human being should be subjected to. Honestly, that's some stuff I didn't even know about her, at all as well. So we are a traumatized bunch. As I said, we're a traumatized, repressed bunch, and we raising kids as a traumatized, repressed bunch of people. That's the scariest part to me. Black people being so repressed and so traumatized, but also being mothers and fathers. That's scary to me, and not working on it, not working on themselves, continuing to repress that, and probably subjecting your kids to the same, trauma and issues that you didn't face. Now, that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, so as I said, she has custody of the girl right now. It's the only child she has custody of currently. Uh, like I said, she had a son when she was 15, 16. Son's homosexual at 16, 17 years old. Son was living with her, and then he had issues. I guess whatever, typical, because you weren't in his life. As a mother, you weren't in his life. That's why he was lashing out against her. And she's crazy enough to believe, once again, she's a victim mentality type person, that everything is her mother's fault. She said it's her mother's fault as to why her son acts that way, but she takes no accountability as to you not being in his life to how he got that way. Why weren't you being a mother? Why weren't you a mother to your second child? These are the questions you got to ask. But anyway, she went back during this time, maybe whatever, 20, probably like 17, 18, somewhere in there, 17, 18. She was, eye contact, and she tell me, "Oh, no, that's your child," and obviously no DNA test. So I wasn't really sure myself. So I get a DNA test, and especially with a chick like her, I wasn't quick to say that's my child. She's just too scandalous of a woman. Too much stuff going on. So we conversating, I'm just, talking about, like, after the situation where she put him on blast online about that not being your child, it came back, then I guess for some reason, which is weird as hell, people came at me, my cousin's family, my aunt, they came at me questioning me about the situation. And then she said, "Give your cousin his baby back." She didn't mention my name, but it's funny how I was the first one that came. That was something that was funny to me. She told me that she had told him that wasn't his child, it was your cousin's child previously. But like I said, I can't tell who's telling the truth and who's not. It's just rumors and accusations. But they came at me asking me about the situation, and I'm like, yeah, I knew about it, whatever. And shoot, like, I be wanting to take a DNA test. He said he was gonna take a DNA test, get back to me. He never got back to me. You know what I'm saying? So once again, and I was already starting to start my own family with, my lady. So it just wasn't a priority to me, honestly. He had already had her for a long time. I did want to have a relationship with the child. That was my biggest deal, and that's what I'm going to talk about in another part, where I did reach out to him to have some type of relationship with my child. Like, he was obviously the primary caregiver. She's 9 years old now, about to be 10, for a long time, till she was 8 years old. From basically her birth till 8 years old, he was the primary caregiver, and he watched over her. So obviously, in all this time, like, she's not gonna have any connection with me like that. It's gonna have to grow over time, or anything like that. So when during that time when he said he was gonna get a DNA test, that was about 2017. No, that was 2018. So the child would have been three about to be 4 that year. He never got back to me. Time went on. Like I said, I had my first child in 2018. I'm just seeing the child grow and get older, you know what I'm saying? So I just, I'm reaching out to the girl, like, I just want to have some type of relationship, or I really wanted to know for sure, because it was always rumors and speculation at this point, and time was going by that, and he never got back to me about the DNA test or the results of any DNA test he took. And it was just rumors, and the girl was looking, everybody speculating she looked like me, as she had certain features. So I'm just like, I'm curious at this point, I'm growing, I'm becoming more of, I guess you could say, I'm growing as a man. I'm growing as a man. I'm becoming more spiritual, and more just accountable for your actions as a person. That's your tribe. That no matter what, that's still a part of you. No matter how she came to get here, no matter how that child came to get here, that's still a part of you. So it was more so like, if you already know, I just wanted to know the truth. Because it was she about 3, 4. She about to be 4 when that situation came up where we were confronted, and it was supposed to be a DNA test. And I never got back. A couple years went by. I'm reaching out to the mom. Mom's trying to talk to him, and she's being shut out. She's telling me she's being shut out by my cousin. So I really don't know where to go with it. really don't know where to go. I reached out to him, and just asked him like, if we get a DNA test or whatever like that. I'm just trying to see what's going on, and it was just a messy situation after that. After she came out and put him on blast, but yeah, the her situation is it was just it wasn't stable. It was unstable at one point. She's got her living arrangements together, and she has custody of the girl now. How that came to pass, but I'm gonna talk in the next episode about how that came to pass. Us the exchange of the child going from my cousin to back to her biological mother, and how just the whole situation, man. How I once again I was put on the outs from the baby mother. She had some type of issue with me. She got mad that I wanted a DNA test, and I was the one that what I'm saying, like I wouldn't just wholeheartedly believe in shit. I just wanted a DNA test for my own proof. That was it. Like once she finally got the child back, that's all I wanted. Like basically, I just want to talk about how there's so many baby mothers and baby fathers once again that just can't see the eye to eye. There's a lot of trauma that blocks the ability to be cordial with each other or to be able to maintain hospitality toward each other. It's sad. We can't come together for the betterment of this child, and just the black community, man. We are definitely losing because this is a microcosm. My situation is not unique to myself. There's plenty brothers going through shit like this. Unfortunately, that's the sad part about the black community. Like as I said before, I never wanted to be a part in no nigga shit, and I'm stuck right in the middle of some nigga shit where a seed of my own is out here. You know, 8. I'm 9 years old, about to be 10. She's been with the mother since she's been 8, so she's spent a whole year with her mom now. At this point, they lived in a hotel for a little bit. The mom, before she got the child, she had the other son, the older son, and they were living in a situation where basically, she got she was paying a lease, and she was paying for somebody, and she wasn't on the lease. Basically, she was basically as they call squatting. She got caught squatting in Michigan, and she was living in a place somebody had said she could rent and live out of, and it wasn't a legal lease. So, and she got arrested, and some situation happened where they did it illegally, and she was able to stay in a hotel room. Her and then her son, and then she got a daughter back, and they were living in a hotel room for a little bit. Now she's in a subsidized housing situation. So I mean, she's stable, and I'm happy for them. Happy for her. As I said, she kicked the son out due to he was acting hostile or going through teenage issues, And it's just funny how she told me herself, which this is just the wild part. When I'm walking on eggshells talking to this girl who's, like I said, a hurt person, a traumatized person, a just grew up, and as she said, she calls her mother a narcissist mother, calls her mom a demon, all type of stuff, wishes death on her mother. Just a sad individual, has wished death on me before. She's a woman that we're not even that close or that tight. That's the crazy part. I tell her all the time, like, you don't know me. Stop assuming, stop projecting your life or anything that you know on me. We all we did was have sex. Like, you don't know me, you as a person. She said when she came in down here, and I saw my daughter for the first time when I got a DNA test in think around Thanksgiving time. Like, we have not seen each other in 10 years face to face. Like, that's wild. Like, two people that we have not seen each other face to face in over 10 years. Since we had sex in 2013, I did not see her to the end of 2023. So, I mean, I should say, and she called me all type of king, all this positive stuff to say. I got the text, I got the receipts. Yeah, all this positive stuff. She's calling me, talking about, you give me positive affirmations, and you bring me up, and just all this positive, uplifting things about my character. And then over a small text conversation, which I can break down that as well, because and as I said, she's always the one to be a victim. You know what I'm saying? She's always the one playing the victim role. And not taking culpability and accountability for anything. Like me, I have no shame in my game. I tried, like, the daughter she don't know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're growing and learning each other, but I want to cut into her because she's 9, about to be 10 in May. She's not a baby. You know what I'm saying? She's the way she moves and talks. She's not a child, so she's not a little baby. Like, that's just facts. So I was just asking direct questions. She's manipulative. She's she's been around a lot of people. Like she knows she has a personality, and you know she's sassy. Like she's her own person. Like so, I just want to know, you know, how we like basically how do you feel about me? That's really how I want to know. I cut into her like that. Like is something I did wrong? And the mother was, you know, acting like, oh, basically I was guilty for not having a more of a conversation with her. But I do talk, like I talk to her on the phone. I text her. I'm a texter personally. I'm more of a texting person. I text her almost every day. So and I call. I've called, and like I said, it's been times where she screamed my call. You know, she's 9 years old, you know, so I get it. You know, trying to have a relationship or some type of contact over the phone is already difficult. You know, I would really want to ask her, like, and she's putting all this pressure or talking about me trying to build a relationship over the phone and feeling guilty, which I don't. I definitely gave a concerted effort to try to have some type of relationship with my daughter. I'm literally doing this because I don't want my lineage to be tainted by a negative degenerate person to bring down my bloodline. I would like for her to have the opportunity to do something with her life. But me conversating over the phone isn't it. I have 3 kids here where I'm at with my lady and my fiance. I have 3 kids already. So um I have a whole situation down here which I have to give them time. I have to give them effort. I have to give them my undivided attention, and you know, and I can't sit on the phone for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I can text, I can, you know, have short conversations, but that's just my thing. I've called her, and there's been times where she didn't even respond. And she told me would call me back. So I'm like, damn. So really, texting is the main way we talk. You know, and she just seems disinterested, which is understandable. You know, you've known someone else to be your father for 8+ years. You know what I'm saying? Someone else to be your whole different. Now this is your whole world's turned upside down. You know, this is different for a 9-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old to understand that this is your biological father, not this person. This is your real who you come from. So that's, you know, that's going to be odd and hard anyway. So I'm just trying to understand her 9-year-old brain. Like, what do you think of me? What, you know, what are your likes? What your dislikes? Like, I shot it to her. I cut into her. I asked her a direct question. I said, "Do you not like talking to me?" You know, and stuff like this. I was like, "Do you not like talking to me? How do you feel about me? Is it something I did wrong?" You know, just direct questions that men do. Like, and it, you know, and looking back, I could see how it could come off. And she went and told her mama she thought I was mad at her. That was the real issue. She thought I was upset with her about something because I came at her with that line of questioning. Just because she's acts distant. You know, I know when people are trying to play you. I'm not a surface thinker. I'm a deep. You know, I got depth to my mind and just everything. You know, so I'm just trying to cut into her, and it scared her. I guess she, you know, was wondering like, he's coming too direct. He's hitting on heartstrings and hitting on things that I'm thinking my 9-year-old brain can hide from an adult, you know, with a healthy um level of emotional intelligence. I have a healthy level of emotional intelligence. So it's very, very hard to hide things from me that you're dealing with emotionally. It's very, it is. You know, I can read people like a book. I can, you know, how they act, body language, certain things that even in subtext, I can get it like this. So I just want to know, like, because it's not gonna harm me none. I told him that, like, it's not gonna bother me if she said I hate you, because where were you? You know, anything. I just want to know, how do you feel? Don't just sit here and play fake the funk, because that's what her and her mother does. Her mother, they're just living in some, like, her mother is like some witch or some type of crazy stuff like that she does on TikTok. And you know, I try not to judge folks, but it's like they don't live in reality. You know, as I said before, like we're a repressed bunch of people, and she just don't live. She doesn't live in reality. So after that conversation, that's where I was cut off. She hit me up. Oh, don't talk to her. You can't talk to her like that. You shouldn't talk to her like that, man. She understands full well what I'm talking about. Like, she's 9, about to be 10. She's not a baby. So, and then she was like, you're just you just feel insecure because you don't call her like that, trying to shame, insult, guilt, need to be right. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. So I'm like, nah, they don't live here. You know what I'm saying? They don't live out, you know, they don't live here right now. You've literally asked me and I've helped and did things. Like, I don't feel insecure about a damn thing. If it, like, if someone, this is the thing that women will understand. If someone is not the way in which they contact you, it's the consistency. See, a lot of women that have not been around men, they don't understand consistency is the telltale for how much a man cares about you. Consistency. It's not about, you know, how it is, the route in which he's consistent. The fact that a man is consistent will tell you everything you need to know about that man. Period. And like I said, women like her who haven't been led by at all by no men, she sat here and told me, as I said, I'm gonna reiterate that she does not rock with, now that I'm gone, she doesn't rock with none of her baby fathers. None of them. She says she has bad relationship with all baby fathers. Like, and but it's always their fault. It's all of them's fault that that you fell out. No, she falls out with men for petty reasons. She's trying to run away from accountability and someone that's gonna uh hold her accountable and put her feet to the fire and really ask you to get better, ask you to, I know you doing your best you can, but let's improve. Let's continue to, delve deeper and continue to improve this level of where we're at. So yeah, man, that's just it, man. So I appreciate it, man. That's part two of the conversations with a frustrated baby father. And man, I appreciate you, man. Like, share, subscribe, hit that cash app. Man, I hope this helps a lot of brothers that's out here dealing with shit. And the next step will be legal actions. That will be the next step for me. Legal actions will be the next step. I'm not playing around. Like, I'm just leaving a physical account, an audio visual account of just what I'm going through. This scenario, it's like a soap opera. It's really shitty, like when you really look at it, it's wild. Like, and the person that's taking the biggest loss is my daughter. She's the one that's taking the most loss. Like, you could already tell she was getting close to me. She was telling me things like, even she said that she didn't even tell her. She was upset. Like, imagine that. Like, a woman, imagine a little girl, like, in having all the men in her life snatched out of her life. You know what I'm saying? And a mother who thinks, obviously, because she wasn't raised with one, she thinks that's okay. So, man, it's sad that what a lot of these queens, these black women go through, man. For real, man. These young princesses and boys and girls. It's like, it's just not, it's not conducive for these kids being healthy people in society. Snatching all these men from them, snatching whenever something challenges you, run from it. It's always someone tries to get you. It's really sad how a lot of the mothers in our community are. Just to say it frankly, it's really sad. But yeah, man, it's part two. Appreciate you tuning in, man. We're coming back with it with more shit, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. Fuck with us, bro. Appreciate you.